Once you arrive to the GitHub, click on Clone or Download. Download as a zip, and then we're going to save that to the C drive. Rename it to ClearPass. Go to office.com and select SharePoint. Create site. Select communication site. And we'll call this Clovid ClearPass. Do a blank communication site and hit finish. Now that you have the files, now go to PowerShell, ISE, and run as administrator. The script that you're going to need is included in the installation manual. Take that script, paste it into the window, go to your SharePoint site for ClearPass, select that URL, and replace the existing URL with your URL and hit run. You'll select yes to all, and you'll log in with your Office 365 account. If you have multi-factor authentication set up, you may get the prompt. Once you approve, the script will run. It'll take a couple minutes. Once it's complete, you can go to your SharePoint site and go to Site Contents, and you see all of the lists have been built that you're going to need for your ClearPass application. Go to your Settings gear, Site Permissions, Advanced Permission Settings, select the checkbox for ClearPass members, edit user permissions, and change edit to contribute, and say OK. Next, you're going to add your users to the ClearPass members group. Say new, add users, and if it's going to be everyone that's internal, just select everyone or type everyone except external users, and unselect send an email invitation under hide options, and then hit share. By default, the self-declaration form data is hidden. So an admin will need to come in and create a private view. Select Save View As and give it a name. In this case, I'm just going to use private, and unselect Make this a public view so that you are the only one that is able to see this information, and select Save. Once you've created your private view, now you're going to edit that view so you can see the data. Scroll down till you see Show All Items in this view, and scroll up a little, and also on the sort, select Show Items in Descending Order, and select OK. Under Company Sites, this is where you can add the location. If you have multiple locations, or if you have separate buildings, this is where you can make those entries. Under title, you'll give it the location name and the max number of visitors that should be allowed at one time. I'll say 500. And then also the admin who will get notifications. Hit save, and you have your first location. You can repeat that step, or you can also do a quick edit if you have multiple sites. You can fill the cells by grabbing the little endpoint there. Now that the SharePoint site is installed, go to Power Apps, click on Apps, and import Canvas app. Upload the Power App in the ClearPass folder on your C drive. Once the ClearPass app is uploaded, simply select Import. Once the Power App opens, click on the cylinder, and you're going to remove the SharePoint connectors one at a time. And you're going to re-add by clicking Add Data, Connectors, SharePoint. Select your ClearPass site and select all of the lists that are needed for the ClearPass application and select Connect. Say yes. Once you have set the connectors, go to File and Save. And next you'll select Publish. Next, you're going to import your flows. Go to flow.microsoft.com, click on My Flows, select Import, navigate to your C drive, and select ClearPass pre-registration email. Once the flow has uploaded, update your SharePoint connection, select your credentials. Same with the Office Outlook connection. Select Import. Once the flow has finished importing, open Flow, and you need to update the two SharePoint items. Add in your SharePoint site and select the site visit registration form. Under Get Site Info, same step, select your ClearPass site, and this one you're going to select Company Sites and hit Save. Next, you're going to import the flow for alerts. Upload the ClearPass alerts flow. Once it's uploaded, update the connection with your credentials. and select Import. Next, for the alert flow, select when an item is created, select your site, and the self-declaration form list. Under Condition, select Yes, and put in the email address of the individual that should get the alerts when somebody answers yes to any one of those questions, and then hit Save. Next, we're going to open up Power BI dashboard. Prior to starting your Power BI dashboard, make sure you at least do one check-in for the Power BI dashboard to work properly. Next, to get your ClearPass dashboard, you'll need to go to the Microsoft Store and download Power BI Desktop. Now to open the Power BI dashboard file, go to File, Open, and browse to your C drive. The ClearPass folder. So now that you have the dashboard, we need to point your queries to the SharePoint site and the SharePoint list. So we'll go to Transform Data, and then to Advanced Editor, and everything in between the quotes, this is where you're going to add your SharePoint site. The next line, your source ID, is the list for the self-declaration. So we'll go to the SharePoint site, go to Site Contents, go to the self-declaration form, click the ellipsis Settings, and you're going to copy the ID up until the equal sign. Copy, go back to Power BI, and in between the quotes, copy that list ID and paste. You'll continue those steps for the last alert and the forms submitted. Once you've updated your queries to point to your SharePoint site and the respective list, you're going to click on Close and Apply. Now you're going to select Microsoft Account and sign in. And then connect. Now that you have your queries connected, your Power BI dashboard will have your self-declaration input, as well as your form submitted, as well as entering on behalf of another person chart. You also have another tab for site activity. So the next step, in order to get this visible online, your next step is to click Publish. Sign in with your credentials to Office 365. If you're prompted to sign up and you know you have a license, just go through the sign-in process on Power BI site. If you're prompted for this screen, just go ahead and skip, because this is actually sending an invite to Power BI in general, not to the actual dashboard. Once you've signed in, you select My Workspace, select Got It. Once you've published your dashboard from the desktop, go to powerbi.com, sign in with your Office 365 credentials, and under My Workspaces, you'll see your reports for ClearPass dashboard. From here, you can share it with the appropriate people. To update Preventing the Spread of COVID message, go to your ClearPass SharePoint site, and under Site Contents, you'll have a list called Settings. You'll have an entry called Prevention, and you can edit that and enter in your text and add your message. You'll notice that you can format the text how you would like it to show up in the app. Click the Edit tab and then hit Save, and then save again. Now, to enter news to your app, go to Site Contents, go to the News list, click New, enter your title, the short will show up underneath the title. This is where the main text will be. Similar to the other message, you can change the font, add bullet points, hit Save. If you want to have a main landing page for sites, news, and settings, you can simply edit the main page. And this is primarily for the site owners. This is not intended for your users. You can add a list, and then here you'll select company sites. Below that, add another list for your news. And finally, a list for settings. This will just simplify for the admin to have one spot to go to on this main page. The final step in setting up your ClearPass application is to share it with the organization. So if you go to Power Apps and select the ellipsis next to your application name and select Share and type in whoever you'd like to share it with, and I'm going to select everyone inside of Red Level, and now I click Share. And now your application is ready to be downloaded by your users.